Hello, everybody. I am Omega Recon Gaming, and welcome to the top 5 best games of 2019. You may notice it's just me this year. A lot of things happened this year. Not a lot of them good things. Actually, a lot of bad things. A lot of bad games happened, okay? However, there were some diamonds in the rough. So, I'm going to cover them. Starting from, number 5 going upwards. Because that's how we've always done it. So, let's get started. Number 5. Oh, probably should go over the rules of what I included in this list. These don't have to be games that I specifically, played on the channel. Like, there's an exception that I have a review on the channel, but direct gameplay doesn't have to be on the channel. So, okay. So, with that said, let's keep going. Number 5, Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat! Mortal Kombat 11. It could have been a 10 out of 10. It really could have. But, no. It just wasn't meant to be. From its terrible, currency problems, stemmed a lot from its problems, especially from its DLC, and it needed more characters. Have they added characters? Yes. But I don't know if it's worth, adding that on after the fact, because at the game's launch, and for the fact that the game has not lowered that much in price. So let me go to Steam, because it's the Steam sale. How much is Mortal Kombat right now? Let me take a good look right now. Just a live update. I'm just doing this right now. Mortal Kombat 11 is $24 on sale, but it's still listed as being full price. So, but at least they put it on sale for like a really good majority. Some games won't go to that length. Especially in its first year. It takes maybe another year before it'll reach that point. So, I'd actually say that's probably what Mortal Kombat's... No, I give it $40. $40 is what the game is worth. With more characters, it's probably worth $60. Honestly, they need to scrap that whole microtransaction bullshit. Not just that, the locking characters behind day one bullshit. I hate that. I hate Shao Kahn being a pre-order exclusive. Day one pre-order exclusive. Since I rented the game, I didn't have access to him. So screw you. Emma Frost being a character, the only one character that you unlock after beating the story. So, no, wait. I take that back. You get her after a few story missions, and then you unlock her. However, there is a price. $5. You can buy her. Emma Frost. $5. To just get her immediately. How much time do people just... Do people who buy these things, do you just not have enough time to play video games? I can't even imagine, just like, why? How long would it take you to beat the story mode? I can't even remember how long it took, but the story mode was great. Sure, it got a little mind-numbingly repetitive a bit, but overall the story that was in it was good. It was really good. I liked how the game looked. I liked how the game played. I liked how, Graphically, it looked amazing. It was a big step up from Mortal Kombat 10, which I only played through the mobile version. Though I have seen the comparison videos between 10, so it's a big step up. Actually, it's like Mortal Kombat 10. I think it's like on sale for like $5. I think it's $5. Like, yikes. I mean, yikes. Guess, the fan base just went right over to the next game. That's why it's $5. I mean, you still get a pretty good game for what I've heard that game was. But Mortal Kombat 9 was the one I played. That's where, I played a few Mortal Kombats before that, but Mortal Kombat 9 was the first one that I owned. I played 10 and I played 11. And I loved Mortal Kombat. So I gave it like an 8 out of 10, which I still feel stands. They've added some new interesting characters like the Terminator, Joker, I forgot who else. Spawn. Anyways, point being that it's a great game, and besides its shifty practices, it's still a good game. I think NetherRealm should stay away from those practices. Whoever's decision it was to put it in, stop it. Don't ruin Mortal Kombat. If you ruin Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat is so important to the video game industry as a whole. For what it did, just as a whole, it's huge. It's huge. Anyway, so let's move on to number 4. Kill la Kill. If. I don't know why they added the if. Maybe because it's a spin-off. Like it's kind of like a what if band scenario story of Kill la Kill. But there's there's a thing where you can play the actual story of Kill la Kill. So okay. And the what if story doesn't really do much. It's there, but it's faithful to the source material. Arc System worked on this game. The ones behind Fighters. And behind Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. So I felt like the game was overpriced, and a lot of people did. That's why I added as of Steam October 8th, the game retails for $40. That does not forgive it, in my opinion, for thinking that they could charge that much at launch. However, they've released free DLC to compensate for the fact that they screwed up. So they added Mako Mankancho and I think a few other characters. Could be wrong, but a lot of things also didn't make sense to me. It's short. And so, the gameplay, I didn't have the game for that long. I didn't play it for that long. And I was kind of just done with it after a while. Also, which didn't help, the Bloody Valor system doesn't make sense. Many people have made videos upon videos on this, and they, we can't decide what, the Bloody Valor system is so inconsistent. Maybe it's fixed by this point, but at launch, it made no fucking sense. And finally, the block scenes bullshit. I don't care that it's released on PC and it won't have that because, I can't stand block scenes. Stop putting them in the game. Coverage of your game is good. It will make people want to get them. And if people really wanted to see the story, they would have got the game them damn selves. The only people that, well, I guess a lot more people are now looking at reviews before buying a game. Kind of. Anyways, I ended up giving this game a 9 out of 10. So the $40 does make up for a lot of this part. And it had the English dub team from, which was great. They came back to redo their voices for this role. And thank God none of them died in the interim of 5 years. Yeah, 5 years was when the anime came out. Actually, go figure, I was watching the anime with my friend Matt before the game came out because he never saw Kill la Kill. So we watched it to it was for myself to, refamiliarize myself with everything, and right before the game came out. So the game was still fun, even with the Bloody Valor problem, but the lack of characters and it being short and I don't know, it still doesn't kind of feel like it's worth what it does. Probably 20 was probably how much it's worth now. But it's still a good game you should check out. 9 out of 10. Maybe you could slide to an 8, but it still is a very solid game which I had fun with. It still looked great, still played great. It was very faithful to the source material, and it had the dub in it. Unlike My Hero Academia, get your shit together. That game better have dub voice acting, because that was one of the complaints people had. It pissed people off. You better come with that for the sequel game. Let's move on to the next game, shall we? Number 3. Devil May Cry 5. Now, full disclaimer, I have not played the other Devil May Cry games. So it's good that this game came with a recap to explain the gist of what happened, so I could, come into this game all, And I have played the remake of Devil May Cry, which I liked. Deal with it, haters. I liked the game. And this game, I thought was really great. Has its flaws, but it's still great. I actually just bought it, the deluxe edition of it, for Steam, because I wanted to play with the extra arms and stuff. And I hope, it'll improve a bit of the graphics side, and as well, and I got it for a steal, like $30. I think because it's $20 if you just get the base game with like a certain number of red orbs, and then there's like the $30 where you get, the deluxe edition, where you get extra guns from different, games from Capcom, like the Mega Buster and Ape Escape. Was it? I know you get a big banana gun. I don't remember which from. Anyway, Devil May Cry, great story, great gameplay, great soundtrack. Oh, great! It looks amazing. Dante is definitely where the game shined. He was the most fun to play. Virgil was Nero was he was on the lower end. I liked Nero as the character. Whenever his cutscenes were on, he was great. His gameplay was a bit mixed. I think out of all of them, I didn't like playing the V, which was Virgil. Spoilers. I mean, but at this point, if you haven't played it, do it. I gave it a 10 out of 10. Honestly, and that was going to be, it was my Game of the Year contender at the beginning of the year. And at that point, I was like, yeah, maybe this year can be good, and there will be some great games. I can't wait to see what this game had. I would come to be very disappointed, because this year had a lot of terrible games. And I don't know how the hell I came to pick the top 5 of them, but when I get to it, there's going to be some anger. But now, let's talk about a surprising pick. That a game that, at first, I was going to boycott. And up till launch, upon seeing the great reviews, did I say, okay, I'll give it a shot. And it was great. Star Wars Fallen Order falls in at number 2 as being a very solid experience. And since it being the best multi-platform game of 2019, sitting at a 10 out of 10. Here's why it's great. Great gameplay, great customization, graphically stunning, good characters, good story. This game proves that single-player games, not just Star Wars games, can exist, but it's a good middle finger to EA, saying that single-player games are still good. And it's further proof to EA that good games sell better than bad games, and they need to get their shit together. They knew. They knew that if this game was bad, Disney was gonna let them have it. And they were probably gonna pull the license if another bad controversy before their final Star Wars movie, which it's not gonna be. It's just gonna probably be. It's gonna be in either separate universe or far off in the future or whatever, whatnot. I haven't seen the movie yet. I need to see it. I'm gonna see it soon. I love Star Wars, so I was very nervous because Battlefront 2 sucked and the controversy, so I was very nervous. However, Respawn was behind this, and they made Titanfall 2, which I kind of played a bit and then never touched again. And then they made Apex Legends, which I heard was good, and I didn't touch that one because I'm done with battle royals. I'm done. I'm done. So, yeah, and the best part about this game, you want to know what it is? It makes you feel like a Jedi. It has never been so good. I was always wondering when I was seeing the Star Wars games, playing them, it's like, man, I want to just let me swing a lightsaber. Just let me swing a lightsaber free from. Just let me do that. Make it look good. Like, give me a good story. Because that's what Star Wars is. It's a great story. That's what makes Star Wars great. Is its great, expansive universe. That's what people love about Star Wars, and that's why EA has failed. Is because they have strayed away from that. Can a multiplayer Star Wars game work? Yes, but EA has failed to prove that again. From what I have seen, it has gotten better, but there is no excuse for how it started at launch. And a game is important from at launch. I play a game at launch, and most games I choose never to go back to. You need to get. Replayability is strong with me. If you cannot prove that to me, I want to come back and play a game again after I'm finished. Which, I'll talk about it in my next game, is why the number 1 spot was picked. Now, there was a lot of good. Oh, before I continue on that thought, there's a confirmed sequel Fallen Order. So, hope to that. Back to my previous. There were a lot of good games that didn't make the list. Indivisible being one of them, which was great, but it was kind of mixed all over. I was frustrated at many times, but it was a very solid game. It was a very close to making this list, along with another game. Games of 2019. What else was very close to making this list? Link's Awakening remake was great. Modern Warfare was okay. Let's see. Yoshi's Crafted World was okay. But yeah, a lot of bad games. A lot of bad games this year. So, my number one pick is not Death Stranding. I don't understand that. I don't understand people's obsession with Death Stranding. Deal with it, haters. My number one pick, also is going to get me a lot of hate, is Pokemon Sword. Yeah, it's Pokemon Sword. It's the best Pokemon game I've ever played in my life. My entire life. I've played Pokemon for my entire life. Since I was 3 years old, I've been playing Pokemon. Sure, I haven't known what I was doing, probably, but I had fun with Pokemon ever since I was a kid. And this is the best Pokemon game I've ever played. I've played many of those games over. Throughout many of times. And because I like to reaffirm my opinions on games. So, actually, funny story, I was doing that with X and Y right before I played this game. Because I've played that like 7, 8, maybe 10, it's maybe been 10 times at this point. Maybe not, but I think it's probably close to that number. But Sword and Shield, it's freaking amazing. Great gameplay. Great character development. Great new Pokemon. The designs look excellent. The layouts. The level design. Great. The replayability. It's there. It's Pokemon. It's there. The game looks great. I think it looks great. And I don't come for, games can look great or whatnot. But for Nintendo, I don't come for Nintendo for a great looking game. But this game looked fine. I thought it looked fine. Not everything is its game's looks. But, I barely ran into performance issues. Some people have. I will acknowledge that some people have. And Matt said he's run into it. But I haven't, personally. He completed the Pokedex, actually. He was having a lot of fun doing that. I think he's got maybe one Pokemon left. And then he'll be done. But this is the only game that I bought this year. Well, I bought this day one, but the other games I rented, and then I bought Devil May Cry 5 just 2 days ago. Because it was on sale. But this game is worth full price. Don't listen to the haters. Oh, forgot to mention, the soundtrack is great too. Don't listen to the haters. This game's amazing. Shut up, National Dexers. Now, my trading and competitive will be more interesting because no legendary... Well, there's 2, but 3. But, and maybe they'll ban them or whatnot. But the important thing is now there'll be a lot more strategy instead of just spamming legendaries all the time. I am so sick of tired of it always just being damn legendaries. Mega Rayquaza, is that fun for you? In competitive battles, people use a lot more different Pokemon now. Like, it's great. Sure, a lot more people will use the best IVs and stuff, but at least it'll be more varied now. Do I want more Pokemon in the games? Yes. Do I think that they could have put in a ranked mode and a non-ranked mode where people could have played? Yes. However, I have not played a Pokemon game where I have found a more... So, the routes are shortened. However, you can find a lot more Pokemon on the routes, which makes every route great because there's tons of Pokemon to catch on them. Even now, I'm still finding Pokemon that I haven't gotten yet, which I didn't really think I was going to have. But yeah, man, like, a lot of Pokemon I still haven't gotten yet. I've gotten a lot of Pokemon, like, I've really been filling out the box. Usually I don't really fill out the box too much. Usually I catch the Pokemon that I need, and then I'm done. Except okay, so when I play a game first time, I catch all the new Pokemon, and then I build my team. And then on subsequent playthroughs, I just catch the Pokemon that I'm going to use for that, Well, I have first I catch to fill slots, and then I put in the Pokemon that I want to use. So, on top of all that, why do I think that this game, above all other games this year, deserves this slot? I'm going to be real with you guys. 2019 was a hard year for me. Not just because of the bad games, but in my personal life. I lost a family member. It was really hard on me. And this game helped me get through it, honestly. And it was very important to me. Especially, and I was very worried with all the negative press that this game was going to be terrible, and I was scared because I've never played a bad Pokemon game. Diamond and Pearl, they're not bad, but they're not good either. They're just But I've never, there's not been a Pokemon... Ultra Sun and Moon. Never mind. Okay, you know what? The main series, the first, the main series, the one where the game started. While I thought that Sun and Moon was just, to good, Ultra Sun and Moon was shit. I liked the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire remake. That was good. And I liked Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So, actually, that may be my second favorite Pokemon game, and followed by X and Y being number 3. Because while Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee laid the groundwork for the first Pokemon game, on Switch, this is badges and everything. And this is the return of badges, meaning the return to being good, because the trials. However, they kind of incurred the trials in fun little mini games in the gyms, which were okay. I like them. But the difficulty was ramped. My God, was the game harder. But it was actually fun, too. So, my Pokemon, I never really usually have problems, but several times I had, if not a team wipe, I had, over more than half my team wipe. It got bad a lot of times. I did have a team wipe, actually. Those, Dynamaxing, which I want to say, was a great mechanic. Sure, it has its flaws, but overall it's fun. I love it. I hope they fix it a bit more for the sequel. But overall, I really enjoyed it. And Pokemon did what it did. It made me smile. It made me enjoy itself. It's the first Pokemon game which I can definitely say I love the characters. Many of the Pokemon games have a character that I liked and not liked. But this game, I didn't find a character that I didn't like. I liked the story in this game. I liked the characters. I loved the Pokemon, and, I really grew an attachment to them. I don't get the hate behind this game just because of the National Dex bullshit. Pokemon for me, it helped me. I still play it. It's still great, and I love it. If you haven't, go buy Pokemon. It's a great game. If you haven't gotten into the game because you're boycotting it, stop. Stop. If that is such a big issue to you, you're gonna miss out on a great game. It's a great game. Give it a shot. What's the worst thing that happens? It's great. I love it. Honestly, it really made me smile, and that's the reason that it's here. Everything else, it's not just biased because Pokemon's one of my favorite series. It's not biased because of just that event, like it picked me up and saved me from that, though that is a big factor. I've still played the game over the inconvenient months to reconfirm my opinion, and it's still amazing. It's still amazing. It's still good, and I still love it. The gym leaders do things like the world feels like a connected, breathing world, connected by sports, and Pokemon's a sport. That's kind of been a thing, but this kind of just cemented that. And in Europe, where this game takes place, soccer's huge, and I really got that feel when I played this game. This game needs a bit of improvement in customization and, and the Dynamaxing, but other than that, I loved it. They could have made the main villain a little better, but I loved it. I loved it. Pokemon made me happy when I needed it the most, and it's great. I don't care who hates me for it. I love this game. It's my favorite game this year. I love it. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and well, you know what's next for me. I have to play some garbage games in order to get through what I had to write that terrible, terrible list. Thank you guys for watching. Happy New Year's. And enjoy your time with your family.